I started making so much milk at the beginning, and I did not know how to control how that much milk was coming. I did not want to pump because I was scared. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Town. I usually do this. If you're new to the channel, this is a new series that I have just started for moms and new moms, and just sharing my own experience with few things here. I'm just gonna share what I know, what I've experienced, and what are my suggestion. I'm not a mom with specialization or assigned a professional on a specific mom thing. I think it's just me. I wanted to create this series whereby I just share my own experiences, and it's nicer sometimes to share your experiences because somebody out there is going to learn about it. And I just really was like, you know what, let me share my own experience too. There's other women who are just watching me with my natural hair that also maybe might be a mom and they wanted to learn something. So I'm going to share a little bit of those things on the channel here. So welcome back everybody who are following up with this series. I just do these series. I try to do them every week now. You're gonna. Say before in my last video, you're gonna have a moment where I'm gonna be in the car, I'm gonna be in the house, I'm gonna be everywhere because I'm a mom. Anyways, for today's series, I want us to talk about. I want to talk about breastfeeding. I think something that I wanted to write about for a very long time since I experienced the breastfeeding, the scenarios and the craziness. So first of all, a lot of us women, especially as young women, will go into like being pregnant and you expect things to just happen. So first of all, when I was pregnant and I gave birth, not even before I gave birth, let's retract back. Before I gave birth, I never took a time to look for somebody to help me with lactation. I didn't have a lady or a woman to sit down and say, Atong, this is how the breastfeeding is going to be like, and blah, 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 blah. They just say, oh, don't worry. My focus was the birth. I did not focus on the breastfeeding. And I think sometimes it's something we as women also have to talk about. Like the breastfeeding is also like, it's part of the giving birth. Like, oh my gosh, like if you're a woman who probably gave birth and realize how painful breastfeeding is, I think sometimes we consider the birth as painful, but I realize on my own personal experience, breastfeeding is painful. I think breastfeeding is painful for the first few weeks, and if you don't know how to withstand the pain, you will. I think that's why a lot of women, the first 1 month, the first 1 month of breastfeeding is so hectic that we give up. Like it's something that I personally just thought like I need to share with you guys, just like share my own experience because we need to talk more about this breastfeeding thing. Like, yeah, I focus so much on the birth. I focus so much on what to do when I'm in pain and the labor process and all that shenanigan. And I was just focused on the birth, and I was just like, and then I at the hospital and gave birth to my baby, and the next thing is like, okay, oh my God, breastfeeding. Do I know anything about breastfeeding? No. I was like, so basically, what I did, I want to share my experience with how I am able to how am I still breastfeeding until today? I'm still breastfeeding. I'm 4 months right now into breastfeeding. So the first day, I was like, what am I going to do? So I read about how, like, breastfeeding, the first milk, the first milk the baby has to suck on, milk can come right away, but it will come in 2 to 3 days. So I was like, oh my God. So we're going into breastfeeding. I thought, okay, I thought when I go into breastfeeding, my milk is just gonna trickle down, put my baby on the breast and just go like, and my baby is fed. That is wrong. That is not right. That's not how the milk comes, okay? The milk takes 3 days, depending on your body as a woman, 3 to 4. When the milk, you start having an engorgement, and once you have an engorgement, then your milk is starting to come. And that's the process is it takes about a week or two before your milk start coming in, like actually coming. So like, oh my goodness, I was like, what? So my third day I started having engorgement, and I was like freaking out because I did not know there's an engorgement. I had no idea what is called an engagement. I did all this research later. So the engagement happens, and I called my nurse. I'm like, my midwife was there. I was like, what's happening? Like, what's this thing? I'm so, like, my breasts are huge and really, really like a brick. And she's like, oh, that is engagement. That's good news. I'm like, what is good news? She's like, that is good news, Atong. That means like your milk is coming and your son's gonna have more milk soon. I was like, are you seriously? I'm like, yeah. Okay. Because I was freaking out. I thought something happened post giving birth, right? So, anyways, I'm gonna take this one off because it's too much glare. So yeah, so that's what she told me, and I was like, yes, okay, my milk is gonna come. I'm so excited. The next thing is, the next thing we the next thing is that the third day I was released. I think the third day or the fourth day I was released from the hospital. I came home, and my son was starting to suck on the boobies, and my son has a really like had a good they have a good like a latching. So your kid, if your baby doesn't have a latch like reflex, like some kids are born where just like really suck on and they would just go that's what I had. I had a good that good it works really well for me. So coming home, I was super excited. My milk is coming. Like, oh yeah, my milk is coming. Huh, sis, this milk is coming. It takes a while, and the nipples start hurting, like the pain from I start even forgetting about the pain for giving birth, and I start thinking about breastfeeding pain. And I think a lot of the time we underestimate the pain that comes from breastfeeding. Like, I think we need to have all these videos or people sharing their own experience, and I'm sharing this experience because it's like not a lot of women knows this thing. So like the second, like when my milk started coming, the pain on the nipple, the nipple start cracking, and that's just preparing your body and your breast for for breastfeeding. Like, Jesus Christ. And so like you just be breastfeeding and you just close your eyes because you just this is the thing, if you're not able to withstand that pain, that's how you give up. And a lot of women will give up for the first 1 week, the second 1 week, and the third week they're done. Like, I don't have milk. And and this is like, and the more you don't put your baby on the breast, the less the milk you make. And at the same time too, next time I'll talk about the the physio-psychological connection with how your brain works with how you baby and you as a mom into breastfeeding. So I'll do that next video, but I just wanted to touch base on my experience with breastfeeding. I feel like it's one of those experience as women that is really neat to talk about. So I just wanted to share that yes, I was able to just go through that pain, and my expectations were just like so high. So yeah, I was able to make it through. I would close my eyes. I had to take some painkillers because it was painful. I just had to let my son, and my son was sucking because he just can't stop. And he was just like, and yeah, so I was very lucky. So I started making so much milk at the beginning. I did not know how to control how that much milk was coming. I did not want to pump because I was scared. I was just yeah, I kept the first 1 week on my son. My son started gaining weight. My son, like, I was surprised. I was like, what am I doing? What did I do? What did I do? So my midwives, they come to the house and they check on my baby's weight. They're like, oh my God, Atong, you're doing a good job. Like, I am doing a good job when I'm like in this pain. So they were like, yes, Atong, you're doing a good job. You've just really like, you're doing very great with breastfeeding. Have you done this before? I say, no, this is my first baby. I just wink it. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes as other women, please don't try to wink it. It's good. Like, that's why some of us over here are sharing these experiences. But I think sometimes I would suggest you guys to at least like look into more on breastfeeding. Let's not focus too much on the birth itself. I'll touch base more on the breastfeeding. So currently I'm 4 months breastfeeding, and what I do so far is just maintain what I was doing at the beginning. Switch from one breast to the other. Make sure you eat foods that are actually, bring your milk. And number one food, protein. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Protein, protein. I eat so much protein, especially for my milk. My son gets so much good milk when I eat so much beans. Don't judge me. Beans, even though you're beans. I'm gonna say that's just what worked for me. find what works for you, what protein works the best for you. So that's what I would suggest. So that's just my story, guys, for like my breastfeeding scenarios, my breastfeeding stress, my breastfeeding experience. I think we need to, what I want you guys to take away from this video is that please let's chat a little bit more about breastfeeding. Let's have more breastfeeding lessons. They do have them, but I feel like other women usually lack them, and I think we're something we need to like focus more on. So yeah, so that's just my little bit of my experience, and I want you guys to chat down below, as a new mom, as a mom to be, what is like your breastfeeding experience, because that was mine, and I wanted to like, I'll continue on this one. I'll do a part two. Just leave down comment down below. Let me know if you want me to do share more on breastfeeding, and just share your experience. Let me know how did your breastfeeding scenario went about. So yeah, anyways guys, thank you for tuning into this mom series. I'm going to continue to try to make more of this series, to be honest guys. I'm currently just, try to I'm trying to come back, just I have so much into me, like so much to share, but sometimes I just feel like, yes, I'll do it tomorrow, and then I end up not doing it. But I just wanted to make sure, I want to create this one for all of the ladies, for all of us to have a place to chat. Anyways, everybody, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and let me know if you like this series. Let me know, guys, if you enjoy this series, especially my moms out there, the moms out there. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye. Bye, everybody.